Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Delphine and today we are going to see some French luxury handbag brands that you might not have heard about. So we're not gonna talk about Chanel, Dior and everything because I guess you have heard about them. I will mention shortly towards the end of the video brands like Pollen and Longchamp because I think most people nowadays have heard about these brands. They have so much success also internationally. So I'm gonna start with some brands where if you're not from France, you might never have heard of them. It's brands I've never seen worn by influencers outside of France, also never seen worn by any celebrity or anyone outside of France, which is a pity because these are very nice brands, very good quality, also I think quite good price point. So let's get started. And I will start with the one which I think out of all of them is my favorite. And I only own a bag from them, but it's been on my wish list since a long time and I several times almost bought one. And it is Lancel. So Lancel, they exist since a long time. They have a lot of different styles and everything. I cannot go into all the styles for all the brands because this video would last 2 hours and this is not the point. But I'm gonna at least show you the two styles I like the most. One I almost bought a few years ago. It's called Charlie. And they used to have many more colors and options. Now on their website, at least, they had only these few options, which I was a bit surprised. And it makes me think maybe they are gonna discontinue this line. In which case, next time I'm in France, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy it. I think you can probably buy it online too. I will put the links below, but since there are only these few colors available, I would like first to go see if they have not maybe more choice in the shops. So I'm gonna go have a look. But if they don't have more choice in the shops, then I'm probably gonna end up with one of these colors because I really like this style. I don't know. And I saw the bag in real because I tried it some years ago. And I mean, I know the brand and the quality is just perfect. So yeah. And another bag that they released quite recently and was worn by quite a few influencers in France. They had a bit of a marketing campaign around it. Is called the Ninon. And there, of course, because it's also more recent, you have a lot of options available. So if you like this style, so many colors, so many variants with combination of colors, very different sizes also. Everything. And for the prices, I'm sorry, almost forgot to mention the prices. I wrote down all the little informations here. So in the size S, it typically retails for 530 euro, and in the size L for 730, and in between you also have a size M for 650. But there were not so many colors available. I don't know why in that size there were not so many colors. But they have really nice colors, and they have this typical red, which they call red Lancel, which is their iconic color. You know, a bit like Hermes has this special orange. Then Lancel has this specific red, which is an extremely pretty one. And I also thought a lot about the Ninon when it came out, and seeing it in this red, it's very pretty. But the big color options are also like. Yeah, I mean, these are bags which are definitely on my wish list, and let's see what's coming. Then another brand, a bit different style also, is called Le Tanneur, and they have, for example, one bag at least that I find quite nice, which is called Emily, and it exists in a bit different variants, with a flap, without a flap. I mean, I'm trying to show a bit to you because yeah, they did a lot of variants around it. And they are typically in 3 sizes also, S, M and L. They also did it as a crossbody, as a baguette. They even have a laptop, like work bag version of it, which also looks very nice. They have quite good colors. I don't also own a bag from them, but they have a lot of shops across France, and I've been already to some of them, and I mean, the quality is very nice. So again, you can go, you won't be disappointed with the quality. And the prices are also so typically between 399 for the smaller version up to 549 for the bigger ones. So I find it's also a reasonable price point, I would say. And yeah, I don't know, I'm thinking a bit about it. I like also, for example, if you like this style from the Birkin, you know, with these little hooks where you put this little leather thing here. I mean, you saw it here. If you like this style, I mean, I think it's a very nice alternative and a very nice option also. And it's still very different from the Birkin. It's not gonna look like a knockoff of the Birkin. But you know, it has these little elements, and sometimes you just like some specific elements in a bag. And if you find it again in another bag from another brand, then that's great. And yeah, so that's it for Le Tanner. Then I also thought, so this will be a tiny bit of a cheaper one, is Lancaster. So Lancaster is more price point. I mean, I'm showing you now the Suave, which is one of the classic one. I'm personally not the biggest fan, but it's to show you that they have also a lot of alternatives and options and variants around the style of the bag. And they will retail for between $129 and $299, depending on the leather, the sizes, and so on, which I think is, I mean, really a very, very good price for a leather bag, which are made in France. So I think it's very nice. And they have one which I like a lot also, which they made in collaboration with a French influencer. She's called Zoe, and her Instagram is at just Zoe. I mean, she has 1.4 million followers, which might not seem huge, but she's French, having a French channel, and there are not billions of French speaking people around the world. So I mean, I think it's a very good number. And she made a collaboration with Lancaster and developed her own bag, which is called Zoe, of course. And I really find it pretty. It retails for €175, and yeah, that's pretty much my style. Also very cool colors. So yeah, I also keep it in mind. You know, I have a wish list of bags I would like to wear. You know, it's almost never ending. And you know, little by little, here and there, I buy one and I improve my collection. So I keep this one in mind. Then I wanted to mention, let me look at my little papers, some brands where you might know them for their clothes, but you might not be aware, or you might not have seen that they also have handbags, which at least in France are having quite a success. So I will start with one brand which, out of these clothing brands, you might have heard of the most, probably. It's Sandro. So you might know Sandro, and they have their handbag, which is called Isa. I don't know if you have heard about the Isa handbag. It retails for between 195 and 465 euros, depending on the variants, because they also have a lot of variants around it. And the one I'm showing in the video here retail for 275 euro. It's with tweed, very pretty. They also have other handbags, but they are not, I've not seen them as much as I have seen the Isa in the streets in France, at least in Paris. So yes, that's that I would say their iconic bag. Then Mage has one also, which is called the M bag, which retails from 255 to 295 euro. Very specific design, right? So when you see it, you immediately recognize it. I mean, most of those handbags you will recognize them, but I don't know, this specific style of the hem with the fringes like this on the side, I don't feel that I've seen it in so many places. You know, even kind of similar style I've not seen a lot. I think it's quite different, which is pretty nice. There's also again a lot of variants, and they even released a new one which is a bit different shaped, with also more of a strap shoulder bag, which is called the Miss M, and it's for between 255 and 315 euro, and it looks quite nice. It's maybe a bit less my style, but it's very nice. And if you're interested in those alternatives, a bit less known brands, then I think it's a good one to also keep in mind. Then you have Claudie Pierlot. As Claudie Pierlot is a personal favorite of mine because I just really like the brand. I own a lot of clothes from them. I mean, my top from today is from them. So yeah, of course, I really like it. I don't own a bag from them because their most known one is the Anouk. which also again exists of course in a lot of variants and options, and you see it regularly also in France. And it was a bit less my style, so that's why I never bought it. It's retails for between 245 to 265 euros, so also very reasonable price point, in particular compared to their clothes, because nowadays a dress from Claudie Pierlot will retail for around 250, 300 euros. So compared to the price of the dresses, I think the price of the bags is very reasonable. And this summer I almost bought one. I really hesitated for a very long time, and then I thought, yeah, well, I don't know. I hesitated a bit too long, and then they got all sold out. It was this little small corp, which retailed for 225 euro, and they had it in white, in brown, pink, yellow. I liked the white version a lot. And as I said, I hesitated a bit too long, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then we were in holidays in France, and we were in a restaurant, and there was a woman, very nice, very stylish woman. I really liked her style, so I was a bit eyeing, you know, on her sometimes. And then at the end, she stood up and left and picked her bag, and she had that bag, and I was like, ah, okay. I mean, now I see it on top of that one in person, and it's really nice, but it was sold out. So I think I have to learn my lesson. And next time maybe I should not wait that long. But I keep hope, because who knows, maybe they will release it again next summer, because it was a very summery bag, so I understand also that might not do it again for the autumn winter. So let's see, maybe next summer if they come, I mean, if they release a version of it again, then I think I will for sure jump on it. I won't let it go a second time. No, I learned my lesson. Another brand on the same style of brand, in this kind of the same group, is Bash. You might have heard of it. I feel like Bash is also somehow a bit more international. I will sometimes see influencers or international publications featuring clothes from the brand. So maybe you've heard of this. And they have two bags which I think are quite classic, or that I've seen in France more regularly. It's the Ophelia bag, which is a bit kind of this a bit more basket shape. It's not really a basket either, which retail for 275 euro. Again, several variants and options. And the very more typical one, I will say, for Bash is the teddy bag. So Bash has a bit of this boho aesthetic, and I feel like the teddy bag fits really very good into that whole aesthetic. And they have developed a lot of variants of it also. And they will retail for 315 to 415 euro, depending on, yes, of course, again, leather, sizes and everything, and options. So yes, this is for these, let's say, clothes, but they also have bags brands, which are very famous in France. I mean, these four brands, Sandro, Mage, Claudie Pierlot, Bash, you could add the couples, but I feel like the couples, I've never really seen some of their bags in the streets. I'm not even sure they do have bags, so I will not add them here for speaking about bags. But these five brands, you see them a lot also in France in terms of clothes, and they have a lot of influence. Then I will mention also shortly two brands where I own some of the bags. I shown them in my video about my affordable collection of handbags. I feel like you still see them, but their peak of popularity is in the past. They were extremely popular maybe 15 to 20 years ago. Everywhere you saw them. And now you still see them, of course, because they are good bags, they are nice, why not? But they're not as popular as they used to be. One is Vanessa Bruno. They are in particular popular for this tote bag that they call Caba, which kind of means tote bag in French, so to say, they call it the Caba tote bag, which is kind of a bit redundant in French, but I mean, sure that it's a tote bag, so you have to write it. So many sizes, so many colors, so many materials. You have them in leather, in cotton, in linen, in canvas, every kind of things. And they will retail between 125 and 555 euros, depending on the sizes, of course, the materials and everything. And in the past, for example, There were one, let me think, I saw Jessica Alba, for example, was wearing the Vanessa Bruno. I mean, she even carried several around at the time when it was, for example, very famous. So it went outside of French for the borders. And Gerard Darel, which is the second brand, it's kind of the same. It was extremely popular to the point where it went beyond the borders of France. And they were in particular popular for their Icon 24-hour bag. I also own one, as that I showed them in that video. Lot of colors, lot of options, metallics, normal leather. They will retail nowadays for between 345 and 475 euros. Sorry, quality is amazing. I mean, again, I own one. I can attest to it. At the time, for example, Eva Longoria was spotted carrying it. They also had a version which had a lot of success, a bit more of a straw version that still exists. I showed it in this affordable collection handbag video. So this straw version still exists and was, for example, carried by Olivia Palermo at the time. So yeah, it went beyond the French borders. And but they are very, very nice bags. So even if they are not the most trendy anymore, if you like the style, I mean, quality is definitely good. So go for it. I can vouch for the quality of these brands. Then I will mention now these 2 or 3 other brands where I feel that they are more known, but I think I cannot really do this video without mentioning them still. One is, of course, Pollen. Pollen now, I think most people know them. They've definitely exploded over the past years, got extremely famous. It all started with their bag number 1. Which I liked. To be honest, I found it really nice. I went to their shop in Paris to try it. I think maybe 4 years ago. I think shortly before COVID, or at the beginning of COVID, 3-4 years ago, before everything started closing and so on. So maybe shortly before. And I was really going in there to buy a bag. And then I was trying the number 1 bag, and I don't know, somehow it did not fit me. I don't know exactly how to explain. I tried different sizes, different colors, and somehow it was just something was not clicking, you know. And so I did not buy it, and I think it was the right decision, because if it's not working, you know, what's the point of buying a bag just to buy the bag and then it stays in your wardrobe, you know? So yeah, I did not get it. I mean, now they retail for 290, 320 euro for the nano size. They have a micro version for 160 euro, a normal one for 360, and they have a mini version which has actually a slightly different shape for 310 euro. So I did not get this one, but they have since released a lot of different styles, a lot of different models, and I've been recently hesitating, in particular with the Node. I find this design, this thing, quite nice and different from what you normally would see, and I like it. I like also the colors they have. It retails for 380 euro, and so I have been hesitating a bit with it. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still undecided, you know, whether it should belong to my wish list or not. And the numero 9, so number 9, it retails for 320 euro and in micro 160 euros. And at first when I saw it, I thought, nah, that's not so much my style. But since I've seen some influencers also in France wearing it, and I'm kind of going back on my position and thinking, oh well, actually, when I see it styled like this and like that, it might be a nice one. So I'm really considering putting the number 9 on numero 9 on my wish list. I know that the quality is great, and if you want to know more, and there are a lot of review videos of Pollen, because again they have a lot of success. So as I said, I don't personally own one of the bags. I can indeed attest that even in France, they are worn a lot. You see them, I think every day, if you just go out in the street, you will see someone wearing a bag from Pollen, because that's the kind of success they have, good quality, a price point that's still affordable, so it's perfect. The another brand, which is a bit like this, but there I don't really know. So I will show you some of the style. It's LM. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it also, because it's not really a French. I think it's a play LM, because L and me, LM. And then it sounds, if you say it LM, it sounds almost like LM, which means she likes or she loves in France. And so I think it's a kind of phonetical wordplay. I've not seen shops from them. I looked at their shop. They have a corner in one of these Galeries Lafayette, which will be in France, kind of a big shop, I don't know, like Harrods in London, or like in the US, in New York, for example. The name escapes me. You have also, you know, this huge department store, a bit focused towards more luxury. I cannot find the name anymore. It slipped my mind. I'm very sorry. But I think you see what I mean. So they have a corner there. I have not personally seen it in real, and I was looking through their website, and I have not seen it worn so much. I've got advertisement for this bag. They're made in France, obviously. They have a corner in France, but I don't know. I don't know really what to tell you. They look nice, the quality looks nice and so on. I was looking a bit at reviews and so on online, but I have not seen it so much so far in France, in the streets, worn by influencers or things like that in France. So it looks like a nice brand, but I cannot tell you much more than that. I can, mention it, of course, because I think it's a brand that you should probably know about, but it's not that famous like the others. And then my last one, which is very famous, and I have recently done a review of this brand, so I will not go into much detail anymore. It's Longchamp. But you know, I'm always surprised. So I don't live in France, right? I live abroad, and a lot of people don't know Longchamp. In the fashion world, I feel like more people know it, but it's also not a brand that everybody knows. So I thought I will mention it here in the video. A lot of different styles. If you want to know more, I will just tell you to go watch this detailed video I did about the brand and the different styles they offer, and also showing my collection. And if you're interested about Longchamp, they do really nice things. And that's it. This video is already very long. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, but I don't know. I like handbags. I like fashion. I like France. So I guess yeah, it's easy to talk a lot. If you have any questions, anything, please don't hesitate to write it down in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer. I always try to answer all the comments as to the best of my abilities. If you own some bags from these brands, and if you want to share your experience with them, please also do it below. It's probably gonna be helpful for some other people. And yeah, with this, I will stop. I will leave you with another video in case you have not seen it yet. And if you enjoy this one and you would like to see more, of course you can subscribe to my channel by clicking there. And then I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.